And make no mistake about where the polls are. Joe Biden is, despite what they may tell you, not the Democratic frontrunner. Senator Kamala Harris of California is. She was employing plenty of doublespeak last night to make certain she doesn't lose the lead. Lisa Booth has more on that. She's a senior fellow at Independent Women's Voice, and she joins us tonight.
Hi, Tucker.
So, Lisa, clearly the Harris campaign believes that, they're in the pole position here, and they want to maintain it. How would you assess her effort to keep her frontrunner status last night?
I thought she got her butt kicked by Senator Tulsi Gabbard, who I know might be coming up on the show tonight, rather. Look, Kamala Harris reminds me a lot of Hillary Clinton, where she's smart, she presents herself well, but she has no core convictions. And that's very evident in her ever-changing position on healthcare. And just to walk you through the timeline a little bit on her position. So in 2017, she co-sponsored Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All bill, which eliminates private insurance. She was the first Democrat to do so in 2017. Then in January of 2019, she doubled down on eliminating private insurance, even if you like your plan. Then you go to May, she walked that stance back. Fast forward to June, if you're still with me on this, fast forward to June during the first debate. I know it's a lot. So during the first debate, she raised her hand again saying that she would eliminate private insurance, only to walk it back the next day. And then fast forward to this week where we are now, she has now introduced her own plan, trying to put herself in between Bernie Sanders on the left and Joe Biden on the right. And essentially what her plan does is in 10 years, it moves everyone to a government run option, but it includes a marketplace for private insurers that are heavily regulated. But here's the kicker. It still kicks everyone off of their employer-based plan. And here she is talking to CNN about doing just that.
Yes, but it's important that I explain that, because I think there was really a misinterpretation of that on the debate stage tonight. Employers right now offer their employees a private plan. I am separating the employer from your health care. So you have the option of signing up for a private plan under Medicare, but it's not going to be through your employer.
But so, Tucker, think about this. That's how most people get their health care, is through their employer. We're talking about 156 million people. And so Democrats right now, whether it's Medicare for All or whether it's Kamala Harris's plan that she just introduced this week, are talking about mass disruptions to Americans' health care. And if you go back to 2010, I was at the NRCC during that election cycle. I had a front row seat. Obamacare cost Democrats 63 seats in the House, 6 Senate seats, solely on that issue alone. And I think Democrats are tempting fate with talking about these mass disruptions once again.
I mean, didn't labor unions loyal to the Democratic Party for the last 100 years spend, decades and decades and decades negotiating health care plans for their members, foregoing salary increases to get those plans? And then Kamala Harris, a Democrat, is saying none of that is valid anymore? How's that going to work?
Well, and that's actually a point that Representative Tim Ryan brought up during the first night of the debates. He brought up that very point when he was sparring with Senator Bernie Sanders and some of the other Democrats on the stage about this. The thing I don't understand, Tucker, is if you look at it, 90% of Americans are insured. And if you look at Gallup polling, I think it's 70% believe that their coverage is excellent or great. So I don't understand the concept of going in with a wrecking ball to what Americans already believe is excellent or great. And Senator Chuck Schumer actually made this point in 2015 when he was looking back on the 2010 midterm elections. He was saying, look, we blew it as a party because there's such a small percentage of registered voters that are impacted by Obamacare. We should have focused on all these other issues that are important to the middle class. And I really just think that Democrats are putting themselves in a really dangerous position by moving forward and talking about, once again, mass disruption on such a large scale for 156 million people with just Kamala Harris's plan alone.
Yeah, it's like transgender bathrooms. For the sake of a small group, everyone has to turn their lives upside down. Lisa Booth, great to see you.
Thanks, Tucker. Have a great night.